Have you ever found yourself looking at a fruit bowl and just not feeling it? Like that apple or banana just doesn't sound as good as it used to? Well, if you're over 60, you are definitely not alone. Today, we're going to dive into why that happens and what the surprising effects on your body really are.
Yeah, this really says it all, doesn't it? For so many of us, there just comes a time when fruit doesn't hit the spot. It's a surprisingly common feeling, and that's exactly where our story starts today.
So if you're feeling this way, you're in good company. But why? Why does something that used to be so appealing start to lose its charm? Let's get into it.
It often boils down to some pretty practical things. Maybe fruit just starts tasting, well, too sweet. Or, let's be honest, our digestion just isn't what it once was, and some things are a little harder to handle. And sometimes, life just gets in the way and we plain forget. All these little reasons can add up to a really big dietary shift.
Okay, so what if you decide to just stop eating fruit altogether? What happens then? Well, your body is going to have something to say about it. Think of it as a quiet protest going on inside. And look, the intention behind it is usually a good one, right? You think to yourself, I'm cutting back on sugar, I'm being smart about my health. But as you're about to find out, it's not quite that simple. The very first sign of trouble, let's just say things can get a little stuck. Yeah, backed up. It's like a traffic jam in your system, and it's a huge red flag that your body is missing something critical. And then comes the fatigue. I'm not talking about your regular, I could use a coffee kind of tired. This is that deep in your bones exhaustion that even a full night's sleep just can't seem to fix. Sound familiar? And it's not just about how you feel on the inside. You start to see it on the outside, too. You look in the mirror and your skin just looks thirsty, a little dull, a little dry, kind of like a plant that's been forgotten in the corner.
And then, the one that can be genuinely concerning, the brain fog. Misplacing your keys for the 10th time, or walking into a room and completely forgetting why. It is so easy to just write that off as, I'm just getting older.
But what if it's not just getting older? What if all these little things are actually signals? Your body trying to tell you that it's seriously missing some crucial ingredients. Let's take a look at what those are. Okay, this is where the light bulb really goes on. Remember that backed up feeling? That's a lack of fiber, plain and simple. That deep fatigue could be low potassium throwing you off. And that brain fog, antioxidants are absolutely essential for protecting your memory. You're also missing out on vitamin C, which explains why your skin might be looking so dull. It all starts to connect.
And honestly, who wouldn't? I mean, would you rather swallow a handful of pills or bite into a sweet, juicy orange? Getting your nutrients from real, whole food is just a much more pleasant way to live.
So to put it simply, when you take fruit out of the equation, you're putting a ton of extra strain on three key areas: your gut, your heart, and your brain. They're all connected, and they all desperately need the good stuff that fruit provides.
All right, it's time to address the elephant in the room, sugar. I know this is the number one reason people start to avoid fruit, but is that fear really justified? Let's find out. It's the question on everyone's mind, right? But what about the sugar? If you're trying to watch your sugar intake, fruit seems like an obvious thing to cut. But we need to clear up a massive misconception here.
Okay, here is the key takeaway. Not all sugar is created equal, not even close. The sugar in fruit comes packaged with fiber, water, and tons of nutrients. That fiber is the hero. It slows everything down so you get a nice, steady stream of energy. Junk food sugar? That's just a raw dose of empty calories that hits your system like a freight train, causing that huge spike in the inevitable crash. That fiber is the absolute game changer. So what's the solution? Don't worry, this isn't about some complicated new diet. It's actually about creating a really simple, really healthy habit. And here's the good news. You don't need to eat a mountain of fruit to make a difference. The magic number for most people over 60 is just two servings a day. That could be as simple as half a banana in your oatmeal and a handful of grapes in the afternoon. It is totally, completely doable. And hey, if chewing hard fruits has become an issue, no problem. Get creative. Blend it into a smoothie. Mash it up in your yogurt or oatmeal. You can even steam apples with a little cinnamon until they're soft and warm for a great dessert. Or cook down some berries into a sauce. It all counts. When we step back, this is about so much more than just fruit. It's really about our whole approach to aging itself. I just love this idea. Aging is not about giving things up or focusing on what you can't do anymore. It's about getting wiser. It's about using all the experience you've gained over a lifetime to make smarter choices for your health and happiness.
Because at the end of the day, adding a little bit of fruit
back into your diet is an act of self-care. It's you saying to yourself, hey, I still care about this body of mine. I still want to feel good, and you deserve that. So, I'll leave you with this question to chew on. What's one small, wise choice you can make for your health today? Maybe it's grabbing that apple. Maybe it's something else entirely. But I hope this has shown you that even the smallest changes can make the biggest difference. Thanks for diving into this with me.